Hey everyone, welcome back to Cook Wild. This is episode 3. Going on a date with my wife tonight, and we don't have time to go to dinner. This is a non-dinner date. We have to be fed before we get there. So I'm gonna make us some quick bulgogi bowls. Basically, bulgogi is a Korean beef that's typically marinated, although I like to cook it without marinade. I like to cook it dry, and that gives it a good sear, but I'm still gonna put marinade in at the end, which is actually more traditional for most Korean families. That's how my wife's family does it. You can see here, I have all the ingredients in place, and I like to cheat a little bit. I use this Japanese barbecue sauce, which is essentially like bulgogi sauce, minus the pepper, and I like to spice it up a little bit more with some ginger as well. So I have ginger that we've already pre-pressed. I keep that in the freezer. That's about a tablespoon. Some Korean red pepper. I'm gonna saute some onions, some sweet onions, and then I'm gonna garnish it with some scallions. So we have here the elk. This is just basically, I guess you'd call this the chuck. It's part of the leg meat that's not the sirloin, and it tends to have a little bit stronger flavor and a little more tough than most cuts. So it's a perfect cut to use something with a lot of flavor that complements that stronger elk flavor. And cutting it thin keeps it tender. So I'm going to go ahead and use my boning knife, which is also a good slicer, and get that going. Right now I also have some rice in queue. Got to turn that down so it doesn't boil over. We're going to get this thin sliced, and then I'm going to break out the wok, get some high heat in there, and cook it on high heat with sesame oil. Okay, got those sliced thin, about 1/8 of an inch thick, and lightly salted. I don't want to do too heavy a salt because this sauce I'm going to put in there has soy sauce in it, and that is also salty. But that salt right now helps bring that flavor out, and I think it makes it taste better when it's cooked with the salt on it already. Almost forgot to mention, it's good to get these onions started early, because at first I usually start them with high heat, just get a little bit of browning on them, and then I want them to be really soft, so I'll turn that heat down and just put them on a low to medium heat and let them turn sort of a translucent, soft, nice color, and then we'll call them done. But I want that to be ready by the time the meat's done, so I'm going to start with some high heat on the wok here right now. I got the center burner going on high, and I'm going to throw in a pretty good amount of sesame oil. Well, sesame oil is not just to keep it from sticking, it's also a key ingredient in the flavor. So you could use other oils, but you won't get the same sort of roasty flavor that comes with traditional bulgogi. Okay, I'm going to start throwing these in, and I like to arrange them sort of like a flower petal in there, because you could just shake them to cook them, but I like to flip them to make sure that both sides get an even sear. And typically the sides of this wok heat up just as good as the bottom, so it doesn't really matter that some of it's like up on the edge versus at the bottom. Go ahead and get those all in, and then about as soon as I can get them in, I'm going to start flipping them, because they cook really fast. You can see it's already starting to brown on one side as I flip them. I mean, this cooks just amazingly fast. As long as you can keep up with it and not burn it, it makes a good quick meal. There you go, and the other side is probably already about as seared as that, so I'm going to go ahead and put a bunch of the sauce in and let that. I'm actually going to turn the heat off and just let it use the heat of the wok itself. And I'm going to sprinkle these in. I can always turn the heat back on if I want to reduce that sauce a little bit. And I probably will. It looks like it could use a little bit more heat. I want to wait till the end to do that. So let's fire that wok back up. And then I'll stir that around and reduce the sauce a little. Once that sauce is done and the ginger's all mixed in, I'll go ahead and throw the scallions on and call it done. Okay, looking good. I turned the heat off. I'm just going to go ahead and throw the scallions in there. And I'll just stir those in. And we're pretty much done. Just got to make sure that rice is done. Onions are looking good. And I'll go ahead and throw it into some Tupperware bowls to make a nice dinner to go. All right, almost done. I'm just going to take a spoonful of the sauce. Pour it in there, let that drip on down into the rice with some goodness. And I know it's not the most beautiful presentation, but I'm gonna put the lids on and bring some chopsticks to go. Call it a wrap.
Okay. Itadakimasu. Let's see. Yum. Like it.
All right, if you guys like that video, please like the channel, share with your friends, and subscribe. And if you have any questions about the recipe or any of the things on this video, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.